All right, all right, all right. What's up? What's up? What's up? We are officially live. All right. Well, hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Excited to be here with you guys. Apologies for the 1 hour later session today. I know it's late for some of you guys. Um, I usually start at 6 p.m., but have some stuff going on. So here we are. All right. Let's dive straight into it. So first week of March was super fantastic to say the least, in my opinion, based off how I trade. If you guys have not checked out the last recap of last week, you guys can check that out here. Every Friday I post the recap of the week as far as like Liberty X setups and whatnot. So yeah, you guys can check that out if you want to see, how the model did last week and whatnot. But yeah, we are here for a new week. This is gonna be a really great week because we have the Gold Diamond Summit coming up this next weekend. So this whole week, just kind of finalizing, prep on what I'm gonna be talking about when I speak, because I will be speaking at the event, and yeah, just excited to see the gang, man, flying in from all over the world. I know there's people coming in from New York, from Minnesota, from Colombia, from, I mean, literally everywhere. So it's going to be super dope to see you guys for those who are in Akashex. So yeah, just a lot to look forward to. As far as the market goes, as we can see, we have pretty much dropped off extremely aggressively. Overall, we've been in this range for the past, let's see. So this low was created on the 5th of February. And we made this high the 25th of February, and now we're on March 8th. So basically, almost an entire month, we've been in, like, you can say like an extended consolidation in a way, right? Between this entire range. Okay. Now, we still haven't really broken out completely from here, but we got, something very interesting that just took place at market open. So we closed the market here. We have dropped off all the way down to here now. And honestly, I'm not surprised because we had news of, like, more Iran war stuff going on. So I expected some type of big volatility over the weekend. The next significant low we have is down here. So if we are going to see like sell side liquidity being the target, this is where we'll go next. The low from November 20th down here. So if you're looking at MNQ, NQ, it should be roughly around like 23,900 area. But, sometimes, like the last Sunday, I ended up dropping a trade that was a reversal of market open to fill in the new week open gap. And that ended up being like almost a 4R trade. Or I think it was a 4R trade. So there's a possibility of us getting a trade like that again today. But, we got to be a little bit patient. What I'm really looking for, I mean, really, I do this during New York session as well, but I have my specific model that you guys probably know by now, Liberty X, and that's reserved for trading New York session at 10 a.m. But other than that, I really look for, like, liquidity grabs, market structure, inverse fair value gaps, all that good stuff. So I will be looking at something like that potentially as a play for today if we get it, because again, we took out a major low from a while back, and we have obviously the glaring new market open gap right now. So the way I played it last Sunday, let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Last Sunday, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, here we go. This was the trade that we took last Sunday. Where'd it go? I lost it now. Okay, here we go. So this was last Sunday's situation where, again, you had a huge new week open gap form from Sunday. We ended up wicking all the way down here, failing to make a new low, and then we started working our way back up. I don't remember if it was a 3-minute. Probably was this right here. I think it was this right here. So I think, we took out this liquidity here. respected the lows down here, and then we started inversing this gap. I believe this was the play. From here to here. So we had this gap right here on the 2-minute. All right. And price ended up inversing it right here. So I think we took an entry perhaps from like here. I think it was like a 40-point stop loss, if I remember correctly, something like this. And then we were looking to target the new week open gap up here. And I think it ran for anywhere from a 3R to a 4R, something like this. And I believe this is how the trade went. Yeah, I think it was a 3R before it was all said and done. I'm not sure if it went higher than that. Yeah, it danced around 3R. So this was the trade from last Sunday. So I would probably try to do something like this again, where if we could see some type of liquidity grab with an inverse gap that's very clean, targeting the new week, open gap somewhere in that range that can at least get us a 1-to-1, 2-to-1 plus trade, then perfect. So this exact same scenario, I'm trying to replicate it today if the market gives one. At the end of the day, if it doesn't create any nice inverse gaps or liquidity grabs, it is what it is. Usually I don't care to trade Sundays anyways, but with the news that's been going on about wars and all that on the weekends, it just seems to be this thing that happens to happen all the time recently, where like all the war news happens over the weekend. And so that's what's going to happen with these markets that start to open up with these huge gaps because of all the stuff happening post market. So oh, appreciate you. I would think, yeah, honestly, those fake accounts, they never stop. If you've been in the trading space for a little bit, it doesn't matter if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, TikTok, like anybody that that's famous or that like has some type of influence, even if it's a little bit in the trading space, they end up having a bunch of fake accounts. Like you can go through all the names, there's gonna be that. So just make sure, guys, like I will never DM you trying to sell you something. Most of the times they're trying to get you to send crypto or to like invest into some type of automated bot or trading or something like that. You just gotta block, ignore, and that's really it. That's all you can really do. But I appreciate you letting me know, I would think. But it's been like that for so many years now. So Discord, Facebook, TikTok doesn't really matter. It's gonna happen. So yeah, just make sure you guys don't fall for anything like that. So yeah, guys, the game plan is very clear as far as like Sunday trading. If there's gonna be Sunday trading, I wouldn't prioritize it. But there's really only two scenarios that tend to happen here. A lot of times what happens is people will see like that liquidity grab and they'll see like this one candle that pops up, right? And so you'll start buying, but now you're seeing price drop off again, right? So I don't think people should just try to buy the gap off the rip like that, because you're gonna get hit with something like this. This doesn't even necessarily need to fill today. It could fill tomorrow, Tuesday, like it could keep going down. So that's why I have this other sell side point right here that could go first and then reverse. Like that could happen. So you can't just assume that it's going to reverse just because there's a new week open gap. Okay. But in this situation, for me to want to go for buys, two things need to happen. Either we need to respect this low, so like we can have this reaction right now, but as long as we maintain this low, right, and then we start to see some type of bearish fair value gap that starts to get inversed, then I'll pull the trigger on a buy and then try to catch this move up here. That's exactly what was last Sunday's trade. Another scenario is that we can go and hunt this low, so price might hunt that low. And then again, same thing. Any type of inverse fair value gap after you're hunting that low, if we could see it inverse some type of bearish gap, boom, go for a buy, take it up. It could happen both of those ways. What I wouldn't do is just try to force a buy. So if we don't see, like if we like drop off and break this low and we start to break and maybe you get some pullbacks, but you keep breaking and then you keep doing this, if there's no nice inverse fair value gaps that are really breaking, I'm just not going to look for anything. I'm not trying to sell this. I'm only trying to buy this up to the gap, but I need to see a clear reason to, like how I did last Sunday. So for me, I need to look at some type of inverse fair value gaps on the 5 minute or below. 5 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute. Could even be a 1 minute, but ideally in these conditions, if I can get like a 2, 3, or 5, something a little bit higher than a 1 minute, and it has to be like a clean, obvious one. It can't be like just like the smallest little gap. Like I want to see a strong bearish candle gap get filled. Like for example, this is technically a bearish fair value gap that has formed, like for example right here now, but it's pretty small, like it's not a glaring obvious gap like maybe in a different situation. So I don't think I would trust that. But yeah, if you get like a really strong gap like this and the gap is like this big here, that's much more significant for me to want to play. So let's see. Other than that, we'll just kind of let the rest of the market play out until tomorrow, New York session. But all in all, whenever we have these new week open gaps, there's only two objectives that I have my mind on. Number one is rebalancing this or taking the sell side liquidity down here. One of those two is going to be the objective. Everything else in between is just going to be fluctuations. But again, the market will always either seek liquidity or rebalance. The only buy side liquidity is like all of these highs up here. And we're very far removed from worrying about those targets right now. So the only things relatively close to price that make sense are the rebalance play first, in my opinion. And then looking to continue the overall downward momentum to take the sell side here. So yeah, because all the other liquidity that was in play from like this entire range over here has already been washed out. You saw these highs get taken here, you saw these lows get washed during this play right here, these highs got rated here, and now this low just got rated here. So like everything in this whole vicinity has already been clean. Like there's nothing of liquidity that's still remaining unless you want to talk about these highs now. Like these highs are the only liquidity that is still intact, and then the low down here. But this is taken, all of this is taken, all of this is taken, and even this was taken by this. So again, liquidity that is still standing at this point is these highs and then this high. And so if you're over here in price, you got to ask yourself, like, am I worried about all this up here right now? Not really. I mean, it's like super far for us to get there. I'd worry more about the one that's down here that's much closer than doing this whole move, right? Like this move is not as big as this whole move. And then the rebalance play is obviously a shorter move as well. So that's the way I see liquidity and gaps and like my mindset heading into the trading day when it comes to that. So yeah, pretty simple analysis for now. I already gave you guys a potential play to be on the lookout for buys if we get that criteria. And look, if we don't get any type of nice inverse gaps at all and price just wants to fly up, like whatever, trading the new week open gap for me is a very gimmicky style of trading. If you're just going to trade that as is, like just one standalone concept, no other criteria, no other confirmations, I just feel like that's not a good strategy to try to do. But do what you want. So yeah, cool. So this week, last week I was partnered with Mateo in Akashx, just kind of working hand in hand with him on a NAS analysis and stuff like that. Me and him combined for I think it was like 20R plus between the two of us. I had 2 4-to-1 setups, a break even, and a loss. Yeah, because I had a 3-to-1 trade on Sunday, and then I had a 4-to-1 trade throughout the week, and then there was a stop loss, and then like a TP1 break even trade that later ended up flying for like a 5-to-1, but we missed it, at least on the alerts of me calling it out. So between me and him, definitely crushed it. As far as like being able to provide some student results and stuff like that. I know we had some people in my chat that just got funded. So yeah, man, start to January has been very clean, thank God. I mean, March, not January. Um, so yeah, looking to continue that heading into this week. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Because other than that, we've pretty much broken down the majority of what I wanted to talk to when it comes to, analyzing NQ. So yeah, just keep an eye out on news for like the war and all that. I mean, this week as far as fundamentals goes, Monday and Tuesday are clear. We just did daylight savings, so if you're international, you guys want to make sure that your brokers and all that stuff are aligned. I know, like when it comes to futures and the prop firms, like everything's auto aligned for you, but some people, if you're trading CFDs and you're international, some of this stuff, like when the news comes out or when the market closes, can throw you off a little bit. So you just gotta make sure that you guys are paying attention to that. And yeah, all the main news is coming out from Wednesday to Friday. So Monday and Tuesday is nothing really that important. I know there's dividends for Nvidia on Wednesday as well. Usually the earnings are the only thing I'm very concerned about paying attention to for market close at 4 p.m. But still something worth paying attention to, the dividends for Nvidia, just in case. But I mean, most of the time, almost always, you shouldn't really be in positions past 4 p.m. On NQ. But some people are, especially like if you're on the CFD side, so might be holding a runner or something like that. I would think. So pay attention to that. Cool. Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. So if you guys are not part of the free Discord yet, make sure you guys are in the Discord. I drop value on here all day. We post testimonials, people's profits. I drop the weekly calendar that shows you guys all the news and stuff that I'm paying attention to for the week. Recaps are posted on here. So I obviously post like the weekly recap on YouTube, but here every day I kind of show the Liberty X setups and maybe some other trade alerts that I send through Akashex. Just kind of recapping again, like all the setups that I took and that I saw, wins, losses, break evens, whatever it is, just to just give you guys my insight on the day. So yeah, a lot of value in there, resources, all the PDFs for the strategy, how to go about prop firms, like literally everything is in this Discord and it's absolutely free. So that way you guys can, get some value there until you're ready to become part of the actual squad. And if you guys are and you're not already in Akashex, you guys can check that section out as well to become a paid member. And any one-on-one mentorship stuff as well is on there as well. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. But let's see if you guys got any questions. I don't think I saw any. Okay, cool. All right, bet. So other than that, I think Preston, if you guys are familiar with Preston, Mr. to the P, he's gonna be here, I think like midweek, and we might link up and do some live trading. Like we're gonna do our sessions, I think together. We'll probably link up in some type of like cafe or something like that and just do that. So that should be pretty cool. But mostly I'm excited to see you guys this weekend for the Gold Diamond Summit out here in Miami. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be, I think, a yacht day. I don't know, it's gonna be a whole lot going on. You guys will kind of see if you're here. So all right, bet. Cool. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of your Sunday nights, and I will see you guys on the sessions this week. Tomorrow is Spanish at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, we run it back in English. So hopefully we catch some good trades this week, all right? Much love. Appreciate you.